Tehuti, smokeru sekta, korvainaba, in body so selau, heripun and tem to kaftan in the vijer, korvain se hati jerim the jeritu. Mitra, Atatmitaita and Tehuti, Brahmanite, Pai Banitu, Banitu. Interact. I'm the space that he came to Bagua. Chien. Kum. Chen. Sun. E. Ka. Tui. Ken. Dwa. Dao. Interacting. I'm the space of the tower. The major arcana. The minor arcana, the air, the fire, the water, and the earth, the planetary. Peace, peace, my peaceful people. What's good? It's your brother, man, Saanuaqa. Coming to you from the morning side. I hope y'all have had a wonderful sleep, a wonderful week, I should say. And, I hope that the readings have been able to, help out in some way, So, yeah, hold on. Let me get my mean and means on. Shout out to Mean and Means. Peace, peace. Inspirational sister, that one there. Anyway. Yeah, it's early morning side. The brother was a little bit hungry, but I said, let me opt for a smoothie. Homemade smoothie. We got some grapes in there. We got some bananas in there. Some little bit of protein. What else we got in there? There's a nectarine or two in there. Yeah, good stuff. Yum, yum. Early in the morning. All right, so we came here to get our conversation with God correct. See what God got for our life this week, this time. This is Offset Cycle. I hope all y'all having a beautiful Offset Cycle. Say peace and love to your mamas, right? Not everybody has their mama in their life. I'm somebody with Saturn in my 4th house. What y'all think that is? I haven't had my mom in a while. But, I send the energies out there. And hopefully, if she's still on this plane, hopefully she's receiving that. And, peace and love, mama. Love you. All right. So, I think I'm just talking right at this point. So, let's get into some talk to God. All right. See what God got to tell us this week. Okay. Yeah, I'm off rhythm a little bit here. Maybe that's a part of it. I saw some offset, some Omen. So, I don't know. It's coming to me something about the rhythm. Got to get the rhythm right. And I don't mean, the bop your head stuff. I mean, the rhythm of life, right? The flow, something about flowing right. I don't mean spitting it out. This is January the 21st, right? Yeah. Through to the 27th of January. Alright, that's what we doing. Okay. So here we go. what does Tehuti have to say to us about this week from our general collective? Oh, let me say, I don't say this enough, right? If you have been viewing the videos, liking the videos, shout out to you. Thank you so much, right? Definitely appreciate that. The videos have been going up a little bit, you know what I mean? You know, seeing some progress, which is a good thing. So let me speak about it. Peace and love, and thank y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all. New subscribers, peace and love. Thank y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, try spreading this out so I can get more subscribers than I got videos. Help me out, y'all. Yeah, here we go for the week. Okay, we got Tehuti Tem Chas, right? That's a Tem Tehuti card, right? Tehuti Tem Chas. Geb Hetep. Tehuti Tem Geb Tem. I'm sorry, it's Geb Hetep. I'm tripping. And Geb falls down with Omen, so it's like be at peace. I get that. Geb Hetep. All right. Okay. Tehuti Tem Chas Geb Hetep. So Tehuti negative, Geb positive. Okay. So, alright, so Tehuti coming up first in the 10. That speaks to aggressiveness. Yeah. Geb popping out right behind it, fueled by the lower portions, right? Some aggression, some level of aggression being fueled by our younger portions of ourself, right? The lower portions of ourself, the Geb, which is, you know, the physical body, but the extension of the physical body is the emotional and sensual conditionings that come with the physical body. So this is the realm that is fueling some level of, you know, aggressive tendency. It could be as well, right? You know, Tehuti Tem sometimes is like not wanting to fight. So sometimes there's a portion in us, right? When Tehuti Tem comes up, that says, you know, maybe you're not strong enough to have that fight, or maybe you're not aggressive enough to have that fight. Somewhere you're not supposed to have that fight, right? And, you know, Geb coming up again is like, you know, some other aspect of Geb in some people's lives are going to see it at the job, right? With Geb Hetep coming up. So this is like, don't have that conflict at the job. You know, don't have that conflict at the job, right? Allow your, the Geb, when you see Geb, try and understand things from the level of your maturity, right? Geb is often speaking about your immaturities. So some level of immaturity, right, will be fueling this, again, I'm going back to the other scenario, right? Because the first scenario that comes is, someone who is on the verge of being aggressive and needs to chill, needs to not, right? Because he's being influenced by his lower self, his immature self. The emotional and sensual conditioning is probably sparked by some level of emotionalism, right? Some exchange or, some mindset. Sometimes at the job you see something and it's true, but you can't really do anything about it because it's not self-employment, right? it's a job. So you could see some level of injustice, and you gotta stomach that. You gotta take that. You know what I mean? Because you don't control it, right? So in that circumstance, coming off aggressively in some way would not be wise. You don't control it. You can't really change it. So it's just like, don't have a fight at work, in terms of that, right? Like I said, the other scenario again is, an aggressiveness that wants to come up, that's just being fueled by something young within you, by your sensual emotional conditionings, right? How something is impacting your gab level, right? So, when I saw that Omen come out, this is like, ignore that, right? Identify where that's happening right about now and ignore it, right? This is, many times when Tehuti's on the table, the view is constricted. Can't really see too good because it's fire, right? That fire constricts the vision, the ability to see what's going on. So you get an idea and it's tunnel visions, like that rhino who only sees what's in front, So, you're not, this constrictive state of awareness might, cause you to not see your way through it, right? So, and a circumstance comes and you're challenged and you're not seeing what's happening. You're not seeing where the emotion is coming from, If you were to step back a second, right, or if you see it next week, you probably say, dag, I probably shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? Because then, well, you're not hot no more, right? So now you can see a little bit. Hindsight is 20/20, that type of thing. But we're in front of it now, right? We're at the beginning of the week, and God is speaking to our levels of aggression fueled by emotionalism. So take that and keep it in mind. All right, let's talk to the I Ching. Open, close, stress. Open, close, stress, close. Open, close, stress, close. Open, stress. Open, closed. Open, stress, open, closed. Hexagram 18 turning into hexagram 56. Into the 56, right? Lines 2 and 4 stressed. Okay. 18 into the 56. 2 and 4 stressed. Okay. So hexagram 18 is the hexagram of working on what's been spoiled. Right? Work on what's been spoiled is the hexagram. And other renderings of this hexagram, it's corruption. Right? Something has become corrupt or corroded, right? A relationship, a circumstance. There have been elements to take this thing into the mud, the relationship, the circumstance, whatever we're talking about, right? Many times this comes up with dishonesty in relationships, people being dishonest with each other, manifesting people doing karmic stuff, right? Telling lies, being deceitful in some way. Okay, I'm trying to pull it up here on my my trusty I Ching on the computer, right? We got the I Ching Praxis by Shekhem Shekhem, right? We're going to read the judgment. Okay, the judgment. What has been spoiled refers to the negative conditionings and human behavior traits that have been passed on to us and reinforced, respectively, by society, parents, educational institutions, religious indoctrination, etc. On the one hand, soon corresponds to the beliefs, plural, the beliefs that keep behaviors in place, and soon is the bottom hexagram here, right? So this is a soon hexagram. Whatever you see on the bottom is the family of the trigram family of the hexagram, right? So soon corresponds to the beliefs that keep these behaviors in place, and on the other, to deep and protracted reflection and meditation. This is all soon stuff, right? On the teachings provided by the wise and correct, provided by the wise to correct what has been spoiled. The latter is represented by kin. Kin is on the top, okay, which also signifies cultivation of keeping still, that is inner peace, to replace the habit of reacting with anger, fear, lust, worry, grief, etc. And the human identity that is at the foundation of such behaviors, right? Meaning that, human is not all we are, right? It is a common miseducation that we're only human. That's not the truth. We are more than what is just human, right? And as we can tell, because we have things like intuition, there are times when you know something that's going on, right? Or there's times when you get a vision, right? That's divine stuff. That right there gives us evidence that it's not only just human here, right? We have power, right? We have a certain level of spiritual power that we can bring up out of us, right? And do things in the world. We have the ability to latch onto and use the deities, right? They're out there. They're in here as well. So human is not all we are, right? Because we are dealing with behaviors that are deeply ingrained in the human nature, they originate in the animal brains. Working on what's been spoiled requires a long and expert program of spiritual cultivation that can only be put in place. I think I screwed it up. That can only be put in place by a spiritual master. That is why it is said in the ancient texts for this hexagram, 3 days before the start and 3 days after the start. This is metaphoric reference to the 3 stages of a program that for most people will encompass their entire life. Okay. We're talking about how to address the animal aspects of us, right? And get it right, right? How to turn around those animalistic instincts that we have coming from the mammalian brain and the reptilian brain, right? Right? Which are a part of us, right? We are individuals, meaning that we are undividable beings, right? We are composed of many things that's undividable. So that sits in this here body, right? So human is not all we are, right? Work on what's been spoiled. What's been spoiled is the divine aspects have been spoiled because we have these mammalian and reptilian brains. This is I'm kind of piggy banking off of what we're seeing here in the hexagram. Okay, so that's in general what the hexagram is about. It's about working on, what's been spoiled, right? I think I'm all right. Let us move on, as Brother Martin would say. Line 2. This line represents decadent behavior or errors that have their roots in weakness of character. Since the root of such weakness is ignorance, a gentle approach to correction must be adopted. Use meditation, instruction, etc., and not punitive measures. Right, so this is like the, some renderings of this hexagram. The example is like of a mother, how a mother tends to discipline the baby, doing bad, right? Or not necessarily the baby. Sometimes it's a grown teenager or a grown human that's getting a little there, do it right, child, or whatever the case may be, right? So it's like a less impactful measure to correct someone else, right? So, this is going to the Tehuti, like maybe you see something that's out of order, well, your first instinct may be to, you know what I mean? Come at the situation like that, but, give it a slap on the wrist, because it's not going to work, you know what I mean? In that circumstance. Not all the time is rah rah the answer, right? Sometimes it's, less harsh measures, right? Line 4. Continuing to acquiesce in decadent traditions, customs, etc. will bring humiliation. Okay, so this is that line where it's like you see something out of order, but you just acquiesce, right? This is like this is the karmic's dilemma, right? Where it should be done another way. You ain't supposed to lie. You ain't supposed to steal, but something in you just has to do it, right? That animal level of you cannot be overcome by your higher aspects. Your higher aspects are not strong enough to overcome your animal, so you just do it, right? You just, it could be something simple like you ain't supposed to eat sweets, so but your appetite is just like, oh, I just gotta have that. Right? So you do it, right? Now you're getting headaches or whatever the case is because of your conditioning where you can't have sweets. So, young example, right? It could be anything. It could be, it could be, you're not supposed to deal with this particular individual because they bring your energy down, or they, are negative and they bring your light down, right? They decrease you in some way, so you're not supposed to deal with this person. Okay, so instead of cutting like you're supposed to, right, you kind of, there's something about them you like, right, or some level of, maybe, you like some aspect of what they did for you, it could be sexually or whatever the case, right? So you decide when that phone rings to not ignore it, but to answer the call. Now it's like, yeah, okay, you could come over. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And now, your energy is drained or whatever the case, your bank account, or, this person comes and, I don't know, throw some juju tricks on you or something. Now you stupid. I don't know. But yeah, this is basically not having the strength to overcome a tradition or a conditioning, right? Not having the strength to address a stagnant matter, right? Some matter that is not, on board, right? With truth, right? You're letting it slide, right? You're acquiescing, right? You're letting it slide because you're not strong enough, right? Okay, so with those two lines, it's like, it's like, yeah, on the one hand, you're not supposed to, come too hard. Maybe this is because a person didn't come hard enough with the thing, right? The second line is you slap on the wrist so it doesn't go too far, the discipline, right? Sometimes, many people, right, just being critical when you look at other people, a mother who don't discipline her child right, and you see the effects in that child. That child is spoiled, that child is entitled, or whatever the case. Many times that's what that second that second line is about, right? You just gave him a slap on the wrist, so this individual doesn't get it, right? So this could be that. And then it goes into the fourth hexagram saying continuing to acquiesce to that kind of, problem, right? That kind of ill conduct or whatever it may be in your circumstance will lead to humiliation. It's not the way to do it, right? So this goes into the 56. 56 is the hexagram of the traveler, right? This could be a metaphor for saying, if you keep, allowing the animal part of you to take over when you see something crazy at the job, you could be a traveler soon, right? You could be traveling on to a new job. Something like that, right? If you keep, right? Because this is correct what's been spoiled, right? So, Yeah, so the potential to correct the circumstances here, but it's a matter of you reeling in your gab or your conditionings, whatever they may be, or, what it is that you see in the circumstance that's not right. It's a matter of you fixing it, putting your hands on it to fix it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go beat somebody, although that may be something that you might have to do, depending on what circumstances. You could have street beef, this could be, okay, let's see, situation of street beef would be like, these dudes keep picking on you. You might have a circumstance where you let it slide. I don't know, you go to the Chinese store and, young dudes is on their, young dude Jones just doing stupid stuff. So, you let it slide. You're like, all right, man, I ain't getting involved in this, right? But then, at the fourth line, these guys are seeing you acquiesce. They're seeing you, now they're going in your pockets. Now they're going in your pockets because you failed to correct it from the door. You know what I mean? That might have involved, bringing more of your aggression out. You know what I mean? But something was Tehuti Tem. Something was maybe fear, right? Maybe you didn't have the Tehuti in you to address the matter. So it's a stagnant matter now. Now it's something that's stagnating in their minds, like, oh, this dude a punk. Right? So now you're a traveler. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing because, that's part of it. That's like something, right? Now you're a traveler. You got to travel on to the next Chinese store because these dudes see you as a punk and they're going to take your money or they're going to take you or whatever like that, right? Could be, even further, you know what I mean? I ain't going to get into all the aspects of street that it could be, but you get me. Metaphor, right? The metaphor, right? Yeah, it's a circumstance where you need to be a little bit stronger in correcting the situation. In whatever has been spoiled, you need to not ignore it, right? Not be weak about how you're approaching the correction of this circumstance that's been spoiled, right? This 56 could very well be saying that the way to correct what this is to now be a stranger to the situation. If this is correcting another human, you have to travel on. You have to move on. Right? This is Gab, right? You haven't been strong enough, right? There are Gab things about you that you're holding on to. You're holding on to something low within you that makes you not correct this individual, cut this individual, right? Hey, look, man, this is life. It is important for us to access the various aspects of the tree and have them in use in here, right? We can't always be giving and compassionate. You can't, you know what I mean? Because there are life situations that you have to do something else. You have to do the opposite. Now you have to take out your sword and cut. This happens in life. So it's good to be rounded, well-rounded. Right? That's what the tree of life makes you. Tree of life, by spending time at the various spheres in the tree of life, you develop the ability to be well-rounded, right? You know what I mean? Maybe you're super duper sweet, hetero, harmonious type of person, right? You always have, good relations and harmonious ways with everybody, right? But you have a circumstance now that you have to be harder, right? Now you have to invoke something else out of your nature. If you don't know anything about it, then you don't know anything about it, right? Now, if all you have in your toolbox is your sun sign is Libra, or your moon sign is Taurus, right? If that's all you got, right? If you don't have no Haruka in you, you're going to get walked on, right? If you don't have no Sekar in you, you're going to get walked on, right? You don't have no Heru in you, you're going to get walked on, okay? Life tells you to be different things, That's why we have the tree within us. That's why it's important to study the tree within us, because this is where the rest of our aspects are. This is where the rest of the mind's power is. if only we don't ignore it, right? So yeah, it's necessary to, come down off of your, normal conditioned response to things. And this is why we do oracles, Sometimes it's not, we can't see exactly what we need to do, right? So we throw a reading. What do I need to be now? Bam, you need to be a little bit more Tehuti about addressing your gap, about addressing that matter in you that allows this circumstance to persist. That's what you need to do. That's what is being said right here. So this 56 is looking like, following this 18, correct what's been spoiled by leading, by getting on, you correct that circumstance. You know what I mean? Because, the answer to correction, sometimes you say, oh yeah, I'm going to correct this, right? And it's an aggressive thing. You don't have to always correct things with aggression, but, it could be very aggressive to cut something or someone. That could be a very, very aggressive thing. And it really is more of a secker thing, right? It's a fallback thing. It's a, you know what I mean? Let me go ahead and put limitations there. Let's put a barrier in between, right? And that's what you do, if the situation calls for that. If there can be no changing in this circumstance, sometimes you got to cut it. Sometimes you got to let it go, and then, if you're too in your gab, right, you need whatever that is that this person is giving you or this circumstance is giving you, right? You're needy, right? Then this ain't going to work. You're not going to be able to do that. Or let me say it another way. If you're in your emotional and sensual conditionings, right, that you can't let them go in order to give yourself justice in this circumstance by leading it, right, then, you're a victim to that circumstance. Yeah. Okay, let's talk to the tarot about the week. The tarot got to talk about the immediacy. We got the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Right, flipping out right away. Ten of Wands in the reverse. On the bottom, we have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Put that down. We got the Ten of Wands in the re and the Queen of Pentacles in the re. Alright, underneath the Queen, we see some paint, and it is the Seven of Pentacles. Pardon me. Seven of Pentacles, upright, underneath the Queen. Seven of Pentacles. And in the background, we see some more paint over this side. So, we got the Star. The Star. Okay, so that's the last thing that really paint, right? We kind of shifting the cards a little bit. But the Star is upright. Okay. Alright, so the first thing is the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So, Ten of Wands in the reverse is burdens that are lessened, right? Either these burdens are lessened or you're lessening your burdens, right? You're dropping your burdens, right? By letting something go, right? Something is in the way, causing you a lot of headaches, right? Or, again, back to that example at Tehuti 10, at somewhere in there, something's not going right, there's a circumstance. I see twice we pulled Pentacles, right? So we got one Wands in the major, that's this one. And then we got the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse and the Seven of Pentacles, which is an investment. It's something that you're putting time into. It's something that you are cultivating, right? The Queen of Pentacles, I'm going all around the board now, but just relating everything. The Queen of Pentacles is a cultivation piece, right? Queen of Pentacles on the upright is someone who is cultivating things, right? This is a motherly kind of aspect, right? Where, she has been attending to the crops, right? She's been tending to nourishing the crops, right? Whatever that may be, right? She may be a writer, so she's writing, right? She may be, a real estate investor, right? So she has cultivated this profession within herself, right? Someone who is about cultivating something. She could be someone in school doing something to cultivate themselves, right? She is moving along in this path of progression, right? If she's in the reverse, I don't even know where she's at right now. Oh, here she go. She's in the reverse after this 10 of Wands, right? Or I should say not after the 10 of Wands, because the 10 of Wands is the thing, right? The thing is the need to lessen burdens, right? The need to lessen burdens. Now, underneath that is like because, right? Sitting at the bottom, because whatever you're cultivating is in jeopardy. It could be you on a job, right? You're cultivating, yourself to get a promotion. I don't know. Well, if you keep allowing yourself to be burdened, then this is in jeopardy, right? Followed by, again, the 7 of Pentacles, cultivation, right? So both of these guys are about cultivation. This is like, remember what you're doing here. And then the Star is like, yeah, you have positive hope, right? It's promising, right? Whatever we're talking about is promising for you, okay? This is positive hope. You are looked at in a great light. Oh, let me cover up a little bit because I don't even know how. YouTube, right? Yeah, but this is like, yeah. So we got lessen your burdens, right? That could be, speaking to the previous readings, right? This is, correcting a situation that has been spoiled, right? Correcting a situation that has been spoiled right there, right? A situation that is putting you in a negative in terms of your cultivation, right? Right? This is, remember what you're doing. You are cultivating something. You are investing in something, right? Could be even seeking investment, right? And you're seen in a good light. So, you have positive hope in the circumstance, right? So this is like a don't jeopardize that thing type of thing, right? Yeah. Ultimately, we could say 10 of Wands in reverse going to the Star, right? So that's like lessening your burdens, blah-blah over there, and at the end you'll be a star. Or at the end the positive hope will flourish, or, positive hope will be the thing. For lack of a better Sebekian route to the communication of it. Yeah, so that is that, right? Yeah, it wasn't not too long, right? We got straight to the point with that, right? All right, so let's call that the reading for the week, right, folks? This is a week that is driven by a Geb Hetep, right? Geb, many times, like I said, Geb is the younger expression of ourselves, right? That which is concerned with worldly aspects, or sensual aspects, or emotional aspects. So this is pettiness. This is a week that might have a level of pettiness on it, right? 4 of Pentacles, King of Pettiness, right here. It's a petty guy, right? Page of Swords is petty. 4 of Cups is petty, right? In this particular depiction of the card, this is gossiping, and gossiping is always a petty endeavor, right? 4 of Cups also can be, just like turning your back on a circumstance, So, this depiction is a little different from things. So, yeah, but ultimately, though, that's the week, folks. So, do with that what you're supposed to, right? Taking a notation, deal with Tehuti, right? And deal with Omen, Okay, Osir, I'm in the high part of the tree because Geb is on the case. Geb is the low part of the tree. Right? Get your sleep. Right? Follow the laws of Geb because Geb is in Hetep. So if you're getting your sleep, if you're getting your proper nutrition, right, you're going to be able to address better, right? Your exercise, let me say that. You're going to be able to better address these animals within, right? By tending to them, right? Tend to your animals so that we can address these conflicts that's going on these weeks, right? Osir, anytime you're seeing Geb on and it's a slightly negative aspect, you're going to go to Osir because Osir is the highest aspect of you. It's your light, it's your purity, it's your oneness, right? It's the thing that's going to connect you to all your aspects in your tree, okay? All right, so with that being said, we're going to call that a reading, okay? And we're going to say peace and love, and we're going to get back and do it next week. Peace.